Hello everyone, welcome to the daily current affair analysis from Veranda IAS. Today we are going to see some of the important current affair topic from 25th of May 2023. Moving on to the topics of the day. First of all, we will be discussing about Sengol Sceptre, which can be mapped to GS1 history and modern history. Then we'll be discussing about NHRC, that is global body keeps NHRC weighting our political meddling, which can be mapped to GST, polity and statutory bodies. Then the next topic will be ties that behind, which can be mapped with GS to international relations, which is an editorial analysis which discusses about India-Australia relationships. Not only that, we'll be giving the timestamps in the description, so you'll be able to navigate between the different topics also. Those who haven't yet subscribed our channel, please do subscribe and press the bell icon. Okay, moving on to the topic of the day. The first topic is based on Sengol Sceptre. So now let us understand what is the context of this news. So the Prime Minister of India will install the historic Sengol Sceptre in the building where during the upcoming inauguration of the new Parliament building on 28th of May 2023. So you should understand that the term Sengol is derived from the Tamil word Sammai, which means righteousness or equivalent to dharma. Okay, so here you can see this image of a Sengol that is being there. So what is the significance of Sengol? So with respect to Tamil Sangam literature, Tamil culture, we can say that it has an important place. That is, when a new king is being crowned, he would be presented with a Sengol. Sengol means a kind of a stick, a metallic stick kind of a thing, which will be covered with golden or gold material. So this kind of a stick will be presented during the coronation ceremony to the new king as a symbol of the transfer of power which is happening. So you can see that different texts are giving us different mentioning about the same practices which have existed since the Sangam age. If you see the text like that, Purannanuru, Kuruntogai, Perimpana today, Kalittogai, all these kind of texts gives this kind of mentioning of the Sengol, where this kind of what we will say the transfer of power which is happening. So this, not only that, in the modern Indian history, when you say when the transfer of power from the Britishers to India happened, the Sengol Sceptre was given by the British to India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and has been a significant historical symbol as it represents the transfer of power in 1947. That is just before the Tryst with Destiny, which is a speech of Nehru at the night of 15th of August, at the midnight of 15th of August. We can see that such kind of a like Sengol was being given as a symbol of transfer of power. So let us see that history once again when it is connected to modern Indian history. So Jawaharlal Nehru had consulted Sri Rajagopalachari, who was the last Governor General of India, who informed him about a ceremony that was performed during the Chola dynasty, in which the transfer of power from one king to another king was sanctified and blessed by high priest. So this kind of a Sengol was handed over to India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru by Lord Mountbatten minutes before Nehru hoisted the national flag and before his famous speech Tryst with Destiny, which happened on the midnight of August 15, 1947. So Sengol is a 5 feet long, intricately carved, upbending gold-plated silver scepter, as you can see in the image, and on top of it you can see that a small statue of Nandi is being given, that is divine bull deity on top, where he symbolizes justice. So this scepter was specially commissioned by Thiruvadurai Adinam. Okay, so they are the one who are commissioning or making this kind of a golden scepter. Moving on to the next topic. Global body keeps NHRC weighting our political meddling. So the UN recognized a forum called as the Global Alliance of National Human Rights Institutions. They denied the accreditations of Indian NHRC, that is Indian National Human Rights Commission, for the second time in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, they are rejecting the accreditation of NHRCs for the second time in the 10 years. So what are the kind of objections that they are saying? They are saying that NHRC is having a lot of political interference in appointments, and also it involved the police and props into human rights violation, and also poor cooperation with civil society for the for investigation about the cases. All these are the things that they cited for denying the accreditations of NHRC to the global body. And also they cited reasons such as lack of diversity in staff and leadership, and also insufficient action to protect marginalized groups. Now let us understand what is this NHRC. So NHRC of India is an independent statutory body. It is a statutory body, so it might be associated with an act. What is the act? It is established under the provisions of a Protection of Human Rights Act of 1993, which was later amended implemented in 2006. So we can see, or we can say in short, that it is a watchdog of human rights in the country. That is, wherever this news of human right violation happen, they will suo moto take cases by themselves and will start investigation upon themselves. Okay, so we can see that it was established in the conformity with Paris principles. That is, and in the Paris, adopted for the promotion protection of human rights in Paris, which was endorsed by the UN General Assembly in 1993. So the Paris principle, which was signed in the Paris in the year of 1993, and which we can see that it was later endorsed by UN General Assembly. It's a multi-member body consisting of what are the composition of NHRC, which is very, very important for static subjects when we consider with respect to polity. It will have chairperson, 5 full-time members, and also 7 deemed members. Okay, and the chairman and the members are appointed by the president on recommendation of a 6-member committee. That is, it consists of Prime Minister as the head, Speaker of the Lok Sabha, the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, Leader of Opposition of both houses of the Parliament, and also the Union Home Minister. So, similarly, when we are having the National Human Rights Commission, similarly, we also have State Human Rights Commission. So, the State Human Rights Commission also has chairman and the members, which will be appointed by the governor of the concerned state in consultation with the Chief Minister, State Home Minister, Speaker of Legislative Assembly, and the Leader of the Opposition in the Legislative Assembly. Now, let us understand what are the role and key functions of NHRC. So, they have complete powers of a civil court. Just like how a civil court functions, they will be also functioning as such. They will be investigating grievances regarding the violation of human rights, as I already said, and they also even have the power to interference in any kind of a judicial proceedings which goes against the human rights violation. It is empowered to utilize the service of any officers or investigation of any investigative agency coming under the central or the state government. Not only that, the functions of the commission are mainly recommendatory in nature. That we can also include it in the limitations of the NHRC. That is, it is not binding on any government or any judicial or anyone, because it is only having a recommendatory. That they don't have any power to punish the violators of human rights, or also they cannot give any pardoning power. They also don't have any pardoning power, or they cannot even give any or award any relief also. So it has limited role, power, and jurisdiction with respect to the violation of human rights by members of the armed forces. It is not empowered to act when human rights violation through private parties actually take place. Now let us see what are the limitations of NHRC. One limitation we already said, that is, they can only make recommendation without any power to enforce decisions. That is, they cannot give relief or they cannot punish anyone. It does not have any mechanism of investigation. What they will do, they will ask CBI, they will ask a wing of a state police to do this kind of an investigation. So they don't have any dedicated mechanism or exclusive mechanism for their own investigation. It is viewed as a post-retirement destination for judges and bureaucrats, because we can say that any of the Supreme Court judge should be the chairperson or chairman of the NHRC. So we can see that those are retired. Yes, you are like as a policy of appeasement. We can see that many political parties will be appointing a judge as a NHRC. So such things will be happening, and that is one of the main reasons cited by the global body to deny the accreditations of NHRC to the global forum. What are the way forward? Some of the very important way forward let us discuss. One thing is that they can give more autonomy or more power to themselves. Their decisions can be made enforceable through some special methodologies. Then NHRC needs to develop an independent cadre of staff. There should not be any kind of a political biasing or any kind of a thing should not happen in that. Then state and non-state actors need to work in tandem together to improve the efficiency of the NHRC. Moving on to the next topic, ties that behind, which is an editorial analysis we are going to do, that is based on India-Australia ties. So let us see some of the important points of discussion in this editorial. India and Australia have several commonalities which serve as a foundation for closer cooperation and also multifaceted interaction, which will be in line with what India has developed with the Western countries. We can see that India and Australia both are very strong, vibrant, secular and multicultural democracies. Both of these countries have free press and independent judicial system, and also English or India has an official language as in English, and there also like English is being used. So that is also an important link connecting between India and Australia. And also India is Australia's largest export market for gold and chickpeas, then second largest market for coal and copper, and the third largest market for lead and wool. And also we can see that both of the countries have upgraded their bilateral relations from a strategic partnership in 2009 to comprehensive strategic partnership or CSP in 2020. That means a kind of a strengthening of the cooperation is very, very visible over this age. Then the Australian government commissioned the Indian Economic Strategy to 2035 to define a pathway for Australia to unlock opportunities offered by Indian economic growth. Then the India-Australia Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement, or Indus-ECTA, it was also signed, which led these countries to expand the trade and commerce between themselves. Not only that, we can see that India is the 9th largest trading partner of Australia. If you see the statistics during 2021, this bilateral trade in goods and services with India was 27.5 billion US dollars, with exports of goods and services worth 10.5 billion US dollars and imports of goods and services with 17 billion US dollars. Let us move on to the question of the day. Friends, let us see the question. Which of the following statements about the National Human Rights Commission is correct? Statement A. NHRC is a constitutional body established under Article 338 of the Indian Constitution. Statement B. The chairperson of the NHRC is appointed by the President of India. Statement C. The jurisdiction of NHRC is limited to protection and promotion of human rights in the state of Delhi. And statement D. NHRC has a power to inquire and violations of human rights committed by both government and non-government entities. So we can see that the second statement is correct. The chairperson of NHRC is appointed by the President of India. We discussed that. And the fourth statement is also correct. That means they have the power to inquire into violations of human rights commissioned by the both government and non-government officials. So we can see that B and D are the correct statements. I hope it is clear to everyone, and you have got some static knowledge with respect to the current affairs, and you go to know how you have to connect the current affairs with the static subject. So unless and until we meet next time, this is Prince J signing off. Thank you.